今天同样有《富爸爸穷爸爸》作者 Robert Kiyosaki 为我们开讲，究竟2016年经济大崩棚，我们应该怎么做呢？
Average Malaysian, American, European, they buy, $1 million property, they get all excited, and they want to flip it because they don't know how to pay for it. But if I know my education, what financial education is, how do I take my banker's money that you gave the banker, I take it, it's a second chance.
Robert Kiyosaki 生在夏威夷，是第4代任意美国人。之后，《富爸爸穷爸爸》一书爆红后，他陆续推出了10几本书。他选择在47岁就退休，极力推广他自己发明极富教育性的理财游戏——现金流。当然，还有他的理财书籍。2015年最新作品《Second Chance》第2次机会。
For your case, what I can see is you are business owners. But not necessarily you can employ professionals to work for you to actually have the leisure, have the freedom.
I hired the A students because I was a C student.
I see. Wow.
I was never very smart.
Yeah. But in business, if there are two things that we have to master, is it debt and tax? Because I can see from your language.
Well, that's called financial education. It's how to use debt.
Yes.
And how you pay no tax.
I see.
That's financial education. In America, what they teach kids, you should save money. How stupid that is. God, that's stupid. And then you should invest in the stock market. Oh, God, I'm going, you gotta be kidding. But for them, that's not bad advice. But that's why the gap between the rich and everybody else is getting wider, because they're in savings and they're investing in the stock market. Those guys give that money to me. That's the game. And the average person has no idea this game is going on. They think they're doing the smart thing, which is save money and invest in the stock market. And that money goes to the bankers. The bankers give it to me. It's a second chance. That's what I say. Your chance is on what side you want to be on. I want to be on the bank side. The bankers are a bunch of crooks, as we all know that. They only give money to rich guys.
To us, it's that we love to actually be educated, to be as successful as you do. I can see that the difference of financial educations can make a person to be very different.
Yes, but all I can do is I make it really simple, and simple is not very good because I make it simple. It's your job to decide, just like I had to decide. I went and took real estate classes. I take real estate classes, real estate class, real estate class. And I started with just one small property. And I used 100% debt to buy it. So $18,000, this was years and years ago. $18,000 beachfront property on Maui, great place. But I had to, everything else is going for $150,000. So I find this one place for $18,000, which took me a long time to find it. Then I got the seller to give me all the money. So the seller financed my $18,000.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I used my credit card. I got some money, and I gave him I think $16,000 for my credit card. At the end of all of this, I was making 25 bucks. 25.
That's right.
But I knew at that point I could make it on bigger deals. And that's 18,000 or 18 million, it's the same process. It's just the debt structure to equity structure to the operating costs and then how much profit is taken out.
You actually buy your first house actually with the credit card as well as the finance by the seller.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, no, it's not amazing.
Everybody
can do it.
If it's in Malaysia, I mean, you are saying just now that Malaysia has a very
loose
accommodative lending at the moment. So, if you were to make Malaysia your second home, what type of properties will you be looking around?
I'm just trying to tell you something. It has to do with up here. Okay? Look, most real estate for sale is bad. You know that. I wouldn't touch most of it. Okay? You have to find a willing seller with a great property. And I have to have a better plan for that property than he or she does. It's intelligence, it's knowledge, it's education, the stuff they don't teach you in school. The other thing schools do, which I think is really stupid, is they punish you for making mistakes. Well, how else do you learn if you don't make a mistake? So the same thing, you get a job in corporate America or anywhere in corporations, work for the rich guys, you make a mistake, they fire you. So everybody's afraid of making mistakes. That's why the middle class and poor are going to always be poor, because they think making mistakes are bad. Well, I think making mistakes are good, because that's how I get smarter. See, Edison, I think he failed 1,000 times before he invented the electric light. Yes. Most successful people fail until they succeed. The poor and middle class get fired if they fail. You know, so that's why they don't make any mistakes.
So they are afraid to make any kind of mistake.
So they stay stupid. So everything I'm saying terrifies them, because if I say, what happens if you lose 300 million, it's really almost $1 billion in debt.
Yes.
Wow. You know, just give it back to the bank. The bank's got a problem then.
But
see, if I can't pay for that.
This is too big to lose now, right?
Too big to fail.
That's correct, yes.
But it took me from 18,000 50 years ago to today. And so I'm saying to people, especially young people, if you think going to school, getting good grades, and getting a job is smart, well, that's good for you. But I'm trying to say on the other side of the coin, on the entrepreneur side, guys like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Branson, that doesn't make sense to us. I'd rather hire those kids and make them work for me. So that's why I say all coins have three sides: heads, tails, edge. So my job as a teacher, you know, when I come to Malaysia, I stand on the edge there and I say, which choice? You got to make your choice. It all requires education.
Yes.
But what kind of education? And on top of education, then it takes experience. You know, I've lost probably $100 million. The average guy cannot handle a $100 million loss. You know, $100 million loss is just, okay, I lost that, next deal.
Okay.
But I started very small.
I still remember the first time I played the cash flow game.
Yeah, the cash flow game is a game I invented with my wife, Kim.
Yes.
And it's the only game that teaches you how to use debt.
That's right.
You see, the average guy doesn't, they're so afraid of debt.
Yeah.
So Monopoly, you don't use debt.
No?
But in cash flow, you use debt and you have financial statements.
That's right.
You see, and the financial statement is more important than your credit score.
Yeah.
The average person has credit scores. The rich have financial statements. Very good, isn't it?
That's right. It's the only degree that's recognized all over the world.
You see, the most successful people make the most mistakes. The biggest mistake I see when people play the cash flow game, they win the first time, say, oh, I know this game. That's a stupid person. You know, I mean, I learn more when I lose. You know, the definition of a loser is somebody who quits when they lose. And so I actually like losing a lot of the times because, oh, yeah, I'm not as smart as I think. Whereas if you went to school, if you have the right answer, you're smart. And as you know, the right answer can't buy you a cup of coffee today.